The other day, when I was talking about psychic stuff, and I said, I think it's kind of an awareness. And so to me, because this stuff keeps happening and happening and happening, and like the other day, the beer thing is why it reminded me. So went to Trader Joe's to go get groceries, and I got some food, and then I went in line. And while I was in line, this woman on the other thing went through, and she had this 6-pack of, I don't know, it looked like some sort of grapefruity summer alcoholic drink. I thought, oh, I bet those look good. And that would be kind of a nice thing to have, if somebody stops by or something. And I went over and I got it, and I can't see shit. So I had to go up to the cashier and say, what percent is this? And he was like, 3.5. I was like, oh my God. I'm not wasting calories on 3.5. No. And yeah, I'm sitting here talking about but I'll have one, So yeah, I want it to be, I'm not going to just drink something that is supposed to be some alcoholic drink that has a half a shot in it, that they're just selling you the Kool-Aid part. And so I went back and I grabbed I was looking and I couldn't find one of those just singular beers. And so I grabbed a 6-pack of this beer I like. I can't remember what it's called. It's got these skulls on it. Can't remember what it's called. It's like an IPA or something. And so I grabbed that. And as I'm going over in my head, I'm hearing well, I don't need to have a whole 6-pack. Why would I need to have a whole 6-pack? Just sitting there in my fridge, it'll really take a long time to drink, or it'd be too much temptation. Every time I feel bad, just run in and get a beer. And in my head, I heard, well, somebody's going to be stopping by, and told me who was going to be stopping by. And so I was like, oh yeah, well, she does like to have a beer. She just invited me to go out and have a beer the other night. And, but I'm not, it's just, I'm not into that. Oh, let's just go down to the bar and have a beer. It's just not, I don't know. It's not the kind of people I want to hang out with that are just sitting around drinking in a bar and stuff. If I go out to a bar, it's because I'm going to go listen to a live band and dance. I don't care about drinking out like that. So, anyways, so when I heard that in my head, okay, she's going to be stopping by. So then I put the beer in my fridge. And so yesterday, the next day, she stopped by. So that is the thing, is you could call it an awareness, because it is I'm tuned in to who's talking to me. I'm listening to who's talking to me, and they're giving me information. So I have an awareness. That is, it's like a broader way of seeing things. I'm not going to just believe what I see and before me. I know that there's other communication. I know that there's people who are watching down from above. I know that I am an avatar for something higher than me. I know that I am playing out a life that I can feel like I have control of, but I have no control whatsoever. That life is already, it is going to happen the way it's going to happen. And when you try and, force things that, when you think, oh, well, I want this to happen, and you're trying to make something happen, and it won't work, and you just keep going the wrong direction, everything keeps falling apart, nothing will work. That is when you're going off track, where you're not supposed to be going off track. So you have to get in alignment, and your alignment will come from your desires. Your desires will lead you, but you have to be in touch with your desires. And a lot of people think they are in touch with their desires, but they aren't in touch with their true desires. They're a part of the rat race. They're a part of, they're in a little cocoon in that spider's web that I was talking about earlier. They're just in that deep, dense area, and they're cocooned in with how they perceive things, how they are controlled by the outside sources. So they think, oh, well, it makes me a good person if I'm religious. It makes me a good person if I shop here. It makes me a healthy person if I do this. Like we're trying to make this outside source happy by going and doing these things to be a good person or the righteous or whatever it is, how we see whatever it is we're trying to live up to create this being that is, acceptable to others. So, if you're real focused on that, then you're real focused on this three-dimensional existence. It's not even real. But when you step back from that and you start getting in touch with your higher self and you start going, your desires become different. You start seeing things different. So you're not chasing something. And believe me, I mean, I lived this. You can be trying hard as hell to make what you think, what you want to happen, how you think things are supposed to play out. You can be trying like hell to make that be your reality. And if it's not meant to be your reality, it's not going to happen. And, I had spent so much of my life trying to create what I thought was going to be my future. And it was taken away in a split second. It was taken away in a split second, but actually it was a long, painful process where it was taken away. It was very painful, physically, emotionally, all of it. So it was a very difficult thing to go through. And I completely understand, when you think you've got it all under control, you think you've made your plan, you're working on it, you're doing your thing, and it's not going the way you're supposed to be going. There's a different plan. You just haven't caught on. But the more that you get into that, that connection, the more it is like, it doesn't feel like just psychic though. It just feels like you just know, like you can see beyond what others can see. It isn't like, it doesn't feel like it's some big magical thing. It just feels like that it's like people are so focused on this, they haven't seen this or this or this or this, so they can't see past what they're focused on. And they've got so much emotional attachment to what they're focused on because they're trying so hard to be something that they're not. It wouldn't be so hard to try and be something that you're not. If you were the thing, it wouldn't be so hard. And people are just trying to, they're going to surgery to change their faces, to look like other people and stuff. Like, where is the self-identity? People have lost contact with their own self-identity. And that is, to me, is what is beautiful. Like when you go back to like the older people that, created this country, like the older farmers, the settlers, the people who built the foundation, they were in contact. They knew who they were, and they were driven. They created this this thing. There's like so much I don't know, whatever in Clint Eastwood, like there's something in them that gives you that that gives them this kind of like it's something that is it is missing now. This one meme I had seen, and it was showing, like manly men, who built this country, and then it and I think it might have even been soldiers in this one, but the men who built this country, and then it shows this other part with a bunch of boys wearing dresses with these on and makeup and stuff. Like they've taken the masculinity away from our culture. Like they don't want it. and they've vilified it, they've, with their movements and stuff like that. Yeah, there's real issues. Believe you me, I know. I dealt with sexual assault my whole fucking life. I know it's real. But the movements have always been to just destroy the masculine aspect. There should not be that we have to destroy masculinity to raise femininity. We should be able to have both. They should come into balance. We should be able to see that there's a necessity for both. And it's the unity, it's the coming together. That's how we create a better society. To try and turn us all into men, or try and turn us all into women, or try and turn us all into them, the thises and its and shit like that. It's to destroy what we are. It's destroy, because the people who are doing this is the thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand either, is the people who are doing this, they're super, super religious. These are people from a long time ago who are stayed in their little ancestral pond, to keep their line pure. And they have, they see themselves as being better than us. And we're nothing to them. They really see themselves as being like gods and stuff. And they keep us ignorant too, So, what was I talking about? Freaking Swiss cheese brain. I don't know if I can try and remember what it was. Stella keeps licking the furniture. Anyways, so, oh, that's so frustrating when you're talking and just disappears. Well, anyways, there's so many things rushing into my head. Oh, okay. So, to me, that whole thing about being a psychic is to just start being in tune with something that is beyond yourself. And it's crazy. Like, I can know before someone calls me. I can know what someone's calling about. I can know, kind of like when people start telling me stuff, it kind of... It kind of irritates me because I already know, I already understand. And it drives one of my daughters so crazy because I'm always interrupting and saying what I think. And she's like, you haven't even finished listening to me. You don't even know what I was going to say. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't have to know all of that stuff. Like, I already know in my head. I already know it's like, I can pick up on it without all of the words. And then, but when they're coming at it from that perspective, like, you're not even listening, you don't understand, then they're not listening to what I'm saying as to the thing. And sometimes, it'll be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It's like, you try and explain it, and then that can even add to more frustration. But I think that we're going to be heading more to that. I think that this frustration and this over analysis of the words and all of this shit is part of, the evil being exposed, because they've been manipulating our language for so long. And words don't mean like what we think they mean, and they change meanings, and they just are manipulating it. So yeah, when you're in two different realities, it's very difficult to have a conversation that both people understand on the same level. So they're going to understand words I'm going to say. They're going to understand them in a different way. And I don't know, how to necessarily talk, to them in the way that they will understand. But I think that it's going to go more into a lot more with telepathy. I think that there's a lot of words and talking that is kind of, we waste time on it. I've talked about this before. I think we waste time. It's like we're trying to convince people or something. I think that the storytelling is important. I think it's important for us to pass history on through storytelling. And, if it's in writing or however, I think that is important and way to continue to understand history, because we've got to take it over once this is all exposed. And, one of the things why I was bawling in that show was it was so freaking cool when it got to the part where the people got to the part where they knew they had something, in that moment of connection with history, you know, of the ones that were before us, of how they lived and what they did and how we've gotten to where we are. That is really, is so significant. We shouldn't be robbed of this. We should be able to be a part of it, you know. And that is what I have heard so much about too, is that in the future, there will be lots and lots of digs that people will be a part of to get to see. There's going to be a lot in Scotland, I've heard. And this is another thing too that shows the evilness is, when I was in Spokane, and my last marriage, he was a construction person that does the rebar. So they'll do the foundations and stuff. So they'll be the first ones that excavate the land. And I was talking to a guy, and he was at a place where they're putting a building, and I think it is a mall that's downtown in Spokane. I can't remember exactly where he said, but somewhere it was downtown. And when they were digging, they found a saber-toothed tiger. And you're supposed to immediately call. You've got to have curators that it turns into a really important site at that point. It gets wrapped up in money and bureaucracy and all the bullshit. And the people who are building, they don't want to mess with that. They just want to get their building done so that they can rent it out space or sell it or whatever it is they're doing. So they don't give a shit. And they just did the building right on top of it. So we have so much, and you think about, that's just one. How many cities, how many places are just built on our history on top of their history, and we don't even get to know about their history. In the movie, when it shows like a plane crash, and our history is being created all the time for people way later on to go in and see, like the planes and ships and stuff like that, just like the stuff is there for us. But yeah, there's just been so much manipulation. And see, I wanted to put this part on the other part, and then I forgot. But that just shows the bureaucracy and the money and the greed and what really goes on. And it's not to, you know, enlighten us, give us our true history, keep us healthy, keep us safe. That's the illusion. The illusion they sell you, because it's not the truth. So, okay, I was getting a call, so I will end there. Have a great day. Talk to you later.